Alright folks, welcome back. This is Balatro every day, and today I'm up to my same old tricks. You think you found a seed with less popular scoring methods? I've played pairs 95 out of the last 100 runs. I'm skeptical, but if you're curious, you can get the seed from the video description, and when you're ready, we're going gold stake, ghost stack. Alright, first boss is diamonds. There's an economy tag, so we don't take it. First round we have, could be a straight, could be a flush. I guess I'm going to try to get the better hearts here. Maybe? Good enough hearts. Doesn't one-shot, I think. And then we can play a pair of 10s. Alright, in the first shop, could be Hermie. Probably I want to take Hermie. Maybe then I don't get the buffoon pack. I could sell the hex. So could be we buy Hermie and then I can sell hex and take the buffoon pack, or I can save the hex. I think I'm gonna play the next round. Should be fine. Let's try to get hearts as a flush. One more time, hearts. So I can play this flush and then follow up with 7s. Could be 7s and 6s. Okay. Alright. First boss was diamonds. There's a spectral pack. Probably I want the spectral pack. I'm curious about it. So maybe we do use Hermie here. The question is, do we hex? I think I want to hex the scary face. So holding Hermie longer is better, but maybe it's fine to use it here. Alright, so scary face I'm okay taking, and then I can hex it. Spectral pack, do I want Mercury also? Probably Mercury. Do that. Alright, and then there's a blue seal. Bummer. So Mercury, yes. Hex, sure. Blue seal could be Jack of Spades, maybe? Sure. And then go next. Alright, what can we do here? I do have the leveled up pair, and I do have Scary Face, and it's Polychrome. I could play a pair of Jacks. I want to try to get the blue seal. So I think this pair doesn't win, but it's close. And then the pair of 10s does win, so we could try to get the blue seal now. Maybe the pair of kings. There's a pair of kings. I guess that's it then. Okay. Can't spin the wheel, could be parking for money. There's a top-up tag. So parking, yes. Because we got the extra pair level, I think we don't need the top-up tag here. Though this boss could be a little bit sneaky. Pair of jacks should be half of the points that we need. And then we get any other kind of pair. Let's just dig for face cards. Pair of kings works. So I can get my parking money and then finish with pair of kings or queens. Maybe. Alright, since we started with the pair of jacks, I'm going to play the pair of queens. And then when we get to the boss, maybe I'll try to avoid the kings, and that way we have the kings we can play against the boss. Okay. Could be hologram, I guess. Don't want a troubadour. Troubadour, we get more cards in hand for the parking, but then we have fewer hands. Let's go next. So now I'm looking for, I could play a pair of 3s. Without the face cards, it's much weaker. Maybe that's okay. because we want to play a couple hands anyway. So we could do the pair of queens. We could do the pair of tens first. The pairs of faces are 700 points each. So pair of queens and then the pair of kings. I would like to play a pair of jacks if possible. Could be a pair of jacks here. Could be play the pair of sixes is at least 150 points. Wait a second. Nothing? 5 face cards? Interesting. Could be Jimbo here for a little bit of molt. I think we would welcome that. I think that'd be great. So, Jimbo, sure. Let's go $6 Arcana pack? Maybe. Could be a soul, I guess. For Ricky. Did I get the right seed? Are we playing the right seed? Let me double check. Okay. Okay. Standard pack. Could be a king. Holographic king for the hologram. And then go next. Alright. So discard 5. How about a pair of, let's play the pair of 8s. That way we can keep the pair of aces. Pair the aces, and then the pair of jacks wins. Okay, so knowing that the pair of face cards wins, let's try to get the blue seal. We could ask, do we care about Jimbo here? We could sell Jimbo, since we have the hologram and we've got Ricky now. And we're about to get a level here. I think Jimbo's fine as a rental. I really don't need it. Alright, there we go. Okay. And then Mercury. Wait, what was the last thing we did? Last thing we did was also Mercury. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, Erosion does nothing, but we could get a glass card. Boss says decrease level. That's rude. Okay. I'm not going to take Justice here, but I do want to open the Arcana packs for, could be Hermie. Now that we have more money, maybe it makes more sense to take Justice. And then go Arcana again. Alright, so it could be Fool for Hermie. Could be we hang him here and then Erosion is online if that's something that we want to do. I like the idea of just taking the money that we can reroll for Jokers. So let's do that. Again, rerolling for Jokers. I might be interested in a Tarot Merchant, but maybe the thing we want to do first is find a source of molt. Could be a bus. Is conflicting with the scary face. Maybe that's not something that I want to do. Maybe that's not something that I need to do. Hallucination's cool. I guess I could take that and go one more. Could be a square here instead of the parking. I think maybe I don't need the money that bad and I want to square up here. Now we get slightly punished for not taking the bus because square would be good with the bus, but maybe square doesn't matter if we already have a blue seal. Could take 6 cents here instead of the hologram as a way of removing 6s. I think maybe go one more. So could be a gift card instead of a hallucination. Could be a gift card instead of a square, honestly. I like gift card as a better value generator than hallucination. Maybe. Go next. Alright, so now I do want to try to hit pairs of face cards. So we could do a pair of queens. Pair of queens is 1,000. Okay, so I can play a pair of 8s is not going to be as strong. Okay, so that's 700. I could play a pair of 9s. And then finish with a pair of queens. Okay, so we win now. Pair of the queens. I could make a glass king, I think. I like that idea since we have the holographic king. We make a glass king. And then play the pair of queens here. And then next round we get Ricky online. Okay. Alright, could be Mercury. And then Arcana looking for... Could be Temperance for 27. Sure. So, could be a Celestial pack now. Maybe... Okay, this boss is going to decrease level. Square Joker's good for that. Maybe this stuff we don't take then. And now I think I'm pretty locked in on Jokers, except for maybe I want to source a Molt. I'm going to take the Tarot Merchant. Maybe we can do something interesting with the Kings. Maybe now we don't need the Scary Face, now that we have Ricky online, now that we have level 5 pairs. We can drop Scary Face, we could take the Luchador against the boss. I kind of like that idea. Sure. Or maybe we just don't need the square. Maybe. Bad. We just don't need the square this time. Alright, so... I can play 10s as a pair. I can play 3s as a pair. I want to dig for the blue seal, so I'm going to use all my hands. I can play a pair of kings. I could play the 9s first. I could discard first. Let's discard. Play the pair of aces, I think. And then finish with the kings. Alright, so pair of kings wins. I can make a lucky pair right now. I could save that for the holographic card. I think I'll just play it right now. Lucky kings. And then that's like 3,000 for that pair. Alright. Baron, no. Celestial pack, maybe. No Mercury levels. Let's go Arcana. Get a death card. I can make another king. Maybe turn a 2 into a king. Maybe turn diamonds into king in case we get a blackboard or something like it. Probably not going to have room for a blackboard, to be honest. Alright. This boss can go away. Start with the pair of aces. Okay, so 2,000 per pair. There's a pair of 9s. Maybe I'm supposed to throw away the glass king. Discard the glass king. So pair of queens wins. I can play a pair of 8s, which maybe doesn't win on purpose. And then I can finish with lucky kings. Okay. So 3,000 points per hand. Next round is 9,000 points. There's a priestess. This boss has no repeat hand types. That's rude. Alright, let's go Arcana. Alright, so we get a death card. There's Temperance for 32. Probably Temperance here. I'm looking at Handy Tag for 30 bucks. Probably we don't need that. So Priestess gives me some stuff that I don't care about. Maybe Uranus, since the boss has no repeats. Alright, before we go Arcana 2, we could do a little re-rolling. Probably no runner. Absies as a rental. Do we need the Molt? Probably we don't need it that bad. Could be Steven here. Could be useful against the boss. Maybe. We got money. We could do better. Go Arcana. There's Temperance again for 32. So could be another Glass King. And then 32. All right, so $8 we could go one more. There's a Mercury card. And then that's it. We're scoring 3,000 per hand. All right. So here's 5s. Next discard on Ricky is going to raise our score by 50%. Oh, sorry. We only get to 3,000 if we play a pair of face cards. So let's activate Ricky here. Okay, one more time for Ricky. And then I can play the Lucky Kings. As long as we have the blue seal in hand, we don't have to play all of our hands each round. Alright, so that's 6,000 for that pair. Okay. And could be Strength, could be Hallucination. Probably Eternal Hallucination we don't do if we already have Eternal Gift card. So what is tempting? With the Strength, I guess I'm trying to turn my queens into kings. And maybe play a random 4 of a kind against this boss. Standard pack, we want to take a king for the hologram. Could be Aura, could be Purple Seal. I guess between the two of those, I'd rather have a purple queen, which we can turn into a king maybe. Go one more. To do this on pairs. In that case, maybe we don't reroll here, we just go next. Alright, so pair of 5s is that many. I can also strengthen a 10 into a jack. Maybe. I don't have to do just queens. I think I'm going to strengthen now. That way I can discard purple. Priestess is not what we want. Alright, I did not get a pair, which is a little bit troubling to be honest. That's not good. So I can play high card 9. I should throw away the ace. I could play a flush here. Okay, so now we've got the pair of 9s and the pair of kings. No problem. Now, to-do list on high card. Probably not going to do that. Probably we sell the to-do list. There's a cola. There's a spectral pack. There's Grim for the hologram. So, all right. Take Grim here and then spectral pack. So could be ectoplasm. Could be extra joker slot, I guess. No reason not to. One less hand size does make it a little bit awkward, this boss, or potentially a little bit harder to get. Could be harder to hold the blue seals in hand and harder to get the pairs, but I think it's going to be fine, probably. Yeah, we can ecto here. Maybe Grim first. Maybe I save Grim until the boss and then we do some kind of full house with aces. Alright, and then ecto, sure. So could be Arcana, could be one more. Do I want to go back in time to have more time to grow the hologram and Ricky? Probably. Well, it does make this boss a lot easier if we can play multiple hands. Let's go reroll once. Could be Hex here. Hex. It might hit the hologram. If I could get a wheel, that'd be useful. Could be Temperance here for 42. So, alright, I'm taking the money. I think I'm not hexing here. Maybe I could hex in the future. $7. There's a satellite. There's a zany joker. Could be useful against this boss. Maybe we play the 3 of a kind kings. Maybe. What else? There's another ectoplasm. I don't think we do -2. I think going back in time is probably fine, but I think maybe unnecessary. Let's go next. Alright, so I can play a pair of 4s, or Ricky's on 9, so let's try to go for a better hand. Alright, so we got Ricky. Let's go high card queen. Alright, so high card sucks. I can play the 3 of a kind kings. We get chips here, we get molt here. That seems fine. That's it, I guess. Okay. Magician on more kings. There's 2 more standard packs. This boss, -1 hand size, could take an economy tag here. We got the double tag. I don't know if I want to do that. But I could take a 10. Could be another king. Could be a gold seal 5 is not unreasonable. Maybe we take a king. Maybe the 4 of a kind is not impossible. We could do something interesting that way. Crystal balls, nice. Especially on the ghost deck, we have interesting consumables. Pareidolia, I think no. Clever Joker, I think no. Hierophant, maybe. Ouija, completely unnecessary. Let's go next. So, I have the kings. I guess with Ricky, we want to maximize the amount of discards. So, I guess we throw away the kings. I could do, here's some more lucky cards that we can discard. Maybe I'm supposed to play this pair first or discard. All right, here's 2 now bonus cards. So let's play the lucky pair first. Okay. I really need to turn this blue seal into a king. So bus is not going to work for us anymore. There's a purple seal 6, I guess. Could be a rock. Could be a steel card. Maybe. Alright, there's that 6 cents. So we could take 6 cents. I got 5 6s. Could be take a juggler here. Do we care about Zany Joker? Probably not. Go next. Alright, I have a 6, but I kind of want to discard it, right? So there's an Empress. Can we find another 6? We can. So Earth we can sell. We can play a 6. Onk doesn't work because we have Eternal Gift Card. Bummer. I guess Empress on the jacks is fine. Play the kings, keeping the 4s. Okay. And then this boss, yeah, -1 hand size. Okay. So, strength, yes. I want to strengthen my jacks. Standard pack, I could get another 6, could get another king. There's a hung man. So maybe aces we hang them. I got a lot of aces. Maybe we don't remove aces. I think I'm okay removing the aces. Maybe we remove 1 ace, 1 8. Maybe. I want to keep the jacks because I have a blue seal jack. So let's do that. Save our money and go next. So I have a 5. And that could be the thing that I use my strength on. I could use my strength on 2 5s. Like, that's kind of exciting, I think. Instead of using strength on queens, maybe. So, strengthen the 2 5s. Play a 6. And we don't need the hex. So, pair of kings, I believe, wins. Okay. Fool for strength is probably good enough. I kind of want this gold seal. So, get the strength. I think hex is not happening. I think Ankh is not happening. Maybe hex could happen if we spin the wheel. So, Ankh is out. Talisman in. Extra hand size is great. This boss, 1 and 7 face down. Alright, so Celestial Pack we can skip. Other Celestial Pack, I'm not going to spend the money. Let's just go next. So there's a 6. And we can just play the 6. We can go... Gold Seal on the holographic would be cool. But maybe Gold Seal on this lucky card is good enough. Maybe. So let's do that. Play a 6. We could light him up. I guess I just don't want to lose the kings. Right? And then we can light him up. And what's next? Okay, so could be a pair of 6s. And then strength on the jacks, maybe? Sure. Alright, play the lucky card. Sorry, what was this boss? This boss was... okay. Fine. Okay. Red card. Do we need the molt? I mean, it's like quite a bit better than what we already have right now. But maybe we're pretty close to the end. Maybe that doesn't matter super much. There's a red seal queen. Before we go spectral, we can reroll. Could be a priestess. Could be fool for priestess. Sucks. Emperor gives me, could be a wheel. Chariot, maybe we can make a Zoolander. Maybe red seal. We can light him up again. Cool. Despite having the hologram, now down to 46 cards in the deck. Fool for Wheel of Fortune is not the thing that we want to do. Go one more. Could be Wheel of Fortune here. Go one more. So I want this Emperor probably. Go next. Alright, I have a 6 that I can play. I can discard first. I can do, there's the red steel card and save the fool. I don't need a tower. I don't need the star. Let's play the 6. So, okay. Great. So we can discard the purple. I said I don't need this rock. Okay. I could make a gold king. I have a lucky king, but I could turn it into gold. So maybe gold king, trans king. Congratulations on your transition. Let's go play that. Cool. I'm not going to use a fool for a devil, probably. Do we want an obelisk? 9 kings in the deck. 6 cents. So if I take the obelisk, I have to get rid of either 6 cents or the juggler. Maybe we don't need 6 cents that bad. Sure. Alright. What's in here? Could be a jack. Could be polychrome 7 we don't need. Let's take a purple seal 8. 3 of a kind might be we need some levels if we want to do the obelisk. Let's go one more. Hack, no. Todd, no. Could be a foil seance. Maybe foil instead of scary face is maybe unnecessary. Let's go next. Alright, so I have some face down cards, which is not great. I have a pair of aces. I don't really want a pair of aces. Okay. So what's this? This is hearts. Probably. Could be king of spades. So let's do one of those as a high card. That's not good. That's even worse. Alright, what's this? Is looks like clubs. So I guess it could be a queen of clubs. I guess I have 2 queens of clubs in the deck. So why don't we do one of those? Right. Alright, so now we got a bunch of kings in hand. I can play 3 of a kind queens. I could play yeah, let's play 3 of a kind queens. Great. And then could be 4 of a kind kings, could be might as well play 5 of a kind kings. There we go. Juggler's done. Bummer. Madness, I don't have room. Could be clearance sale. This boss, spades are debuffed. Orbital tag for 4 of a kind. Okay. Spades, I guess I have the 1 blue seal that I could care about. Let's go clearance sale. There's another blue seal. I don't really have the hand size, but it's nice to know we can get the blue seal. Here, Celestial Pack, maybe Earth, maybe Planet X, maybe 5 of a kind. Let's go next. Probably not 5 of a kind. Alright, so I can discard purple, get a Hierophant. I could play a straight here if I wanted to. I guess I don't have to. Let's just play high card. Six left on Ricky. We could play high card ace. And I don't want the pair of sixes. I don't think I actually need this queen. I could just discard it. And then could be high card queen. And I think we do the 4 of a kind here. So here's Hierophant, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 of a kind. That should be plenty. Cool. I'm choosing the 4 of a kind because, well, in general, I choose 4 of a kind instead of 5 of a kind because with 4 of a kind, it's easier to play 4 cards. It's easier to hold on to 4 cards at the same time as doing the blue seals and potentially the steel card. But then also there is the orbital tag. Gives us a reason to play 4 of a kind. Alright. Alright, 2/6 on the obelisk. We do get campfire. Okay, I think my 4 of a kind is big enough that maybe we don't need Scary Face. Maybe just take Satellite instead, which gives us more money. I think that's the move. So, Campfire first. Take Satellite just for 1 round. Standard pack. I could take another Jack, I guess. Makes it harder for me to get the 4 of a kind, but I don't think the 4 of a kind is 100% necessary. Could be Fool here, could be... I'm going to take the Earth card just in case. If we don't draw the 4 of a kind, we can play a full house, maybe. And then that's it. Alright, one more discard for Ricky. We can start with 2 pair. How about that? We don't have Scary Face, so this has no chips. It's going to score nothing. I can discard this purple. Emperor gives me Temperance for 50. That might be the kind of thing that I'm willing to use a Fool on. Maybe. We do have a Moon card in case of emergencies here. But we can start with the Queen as a high card. We have plenty of kings now, so we can play high card Ace. And then dig for blue seal value. Alright, I can play this 4 of a kind. There you go. Cool. Alright, now my 4 of a kind is small enough. I think I take the 4 of a kind level here. Alright, there's a red seal. This boss says shuffle me Jimbos. Alright, hologram 4.5. Let's go Celestial Pack. I maybe should have opened the Arcana Pack first or re-rolled first or something like that because the Arcana Pack could give me a Fool for that Temperance. Oh well. Alright, Satellite, you get to feed the Campfire. Could be... We don't want to spin the wheel, right? Okay. Luchador? Doesn't matter. There's another blue seal. Bummer. So... let's look in here. Priestess, that's 2 cards I can sell. I think Moon doesn't matter. I can use the blue seal here. I can wait until the next round. Probably we should wait. And then with this red seal, I'm waiting also. So maybe we go Judgment here. Flash we don't care about. There's a Satellite again. And the Magician we probably don't care about. I'm going to save my money because $10 is a little bit expensive for a reroll. Go next. 16 on Ricky. So there's the red glass card. I don't really want to play it if I can avoid it. Fool for Judgment. We can do better, probably. I can play this 10 as a high card. Maybe I can't play that 10 as a high card. Machi. Okay. So, don't need the plutonium. Celestial Pack gives me stuff that I don't care about. Before we go Arcana, go one more. There's a baseball card. I guess I have 2 uncommons, maybe. Could be Glass Joker. That's a fun one. Do I want to grow the Campfire more? I think maybe the Campfire is not going to get that much bigger from the Jokers specifically. So maybe we can skip the glass joker. Alright, looks inside. There's Emperor. Alright, I think I do the blue seal. That way I have room for the Emperor. Bummer. And go next. Alright, so purple seal we can discard. Strengthen my queens, I guess. I can strengthen these queens. If I play the high card, are we going to get scamboozled again? Maybe. Oh, we got the baseball card? Okay. Okay. So I could use strength on this red seal. I think maybe that red seal doesn't need to become a king. We could leave it as a queen. Alright, so I can play high card a couple times. Digging for my blue seals. So one more. And then here's a 4 of a kind. Okay. Fool for strength? Maybe. Gold seal? Irrelevant. Trio is stronger than the baseball card here, I guess. Alright, what's in here? I don't need either of these. We can grow the hologram. There's 4 of a kind. Yep. Obelisk is 4.4. So Emperor gives me justice. And don't need a stuntman. No showman. Temperance is 50. I think I'm going to keep the Fool for justice. There's a Mars card. So I'm not using Fool for temperance. Could be a Chad instead of this trio, I guess. That seems profitable. It's a ×4. We get to sell the egg. And that's it, probably. Alright, let's go next. Okay. 8.25 on the campfire. We've got 4.4 on the obelisk. ×7 on Ricky. About to be ×8. 475 on the hologram. What a bunch of cuties. Alright, so what if we go high card ace? Okay. And again, or 3 of a kind. Maybe I should have discarded the aces. Okay. I want the glass king. So maybe I discard this king. Okay. I could do another discard, but now we have a chariot. So let's go high card one more time. Yes. So I don't need this blue seal. All right. So there's one of those. Could be glass here. Glass one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. All right, 3.5 billion points. How about that? How about that for less popular scoring technology, right? I guess we ended up winning with something other than just pairs. I mean, that's what happens when you get... We didn't really get scaling plus molt, but if you have enough scaling X molt, that's kind of the same thing, right? Hologram, of course, very strong. You, especially on the Ghost deck, you can add extra cards to your deck with the random spectral cards from the shop. Maybe you get Grim, you add 2 aces. Familiar adds 3 face cards, that kind of thing. Obelisk here, we got it pretty late, but ended up being usable. Part of what enabled it to be usable was we had so much molt on Ricky already that actually we didn't really need the Obelisk. But if we wanted to, then okay, this makes all of our hands kind of score enough points where we can play things other than pairs. We can win with the 4 of a kind. The base level 4 of a kind was strong enough because we had holographic cards and bonus cards, and we did have Scary Face for a little while, so we have... think about, okay, how am I getting my molt is from the holographic card, how am I getting my chips is from the bonus cards and from Scary Face. Maybe also glass cards as a source of molt. Maybe the lucky card's not a reliable source of molt. Maybe even with the low level 4 of a kind, even without the holographic cards, maybe Ricky and hologram are already big enough to where it's fine for me to play the 4 of a kind level 1. Obelisk, because it grows 0.2 molt per hand, if you have 4 hands, then the turn that you get the Obelisk, it's already times 1.8, so it's already a times 2. So if you can figure out, okay, if the hand that I switch to, if times 2 is good enough, and then in the next round, then it grows by another 0.8, and the next round grows by another 0.8. And by the time you get to the end of the ante, it's already 3.4 or something like that. Times 3 in 1 ante, times 5 in 2 antes. Campfire, we've demonstrated time and time again, incredibly powerful. One thing that enabled this for this particular run is we took the Eternal Gift card. It's like Eternal Egg, it just grows faster. It's stronger. It adds sell values to your jokers, so even if you don't care about just the temperance value, we can sell whatever jokers that we take. We can hold on to them for a little while, and then we can sell them. We get extra value that way. You get extra value on your consumable cards as well, which is kind of cute, I guess. All right. Take care, everyone.